Welcome back to the places where we go. On our last video, our cruise ship ported in Stockholm, Sweden, where we visited the Royal Palace and explored the Old Town and city center on foot. In today's video, we're taking an excursion to visit the iconic Vasa Museum. And where we went to was a place called Djurgården Island. It's a place we got to by bus. It's a popular tourist destination with many beautiful green spaces, and it offers lots of cultural attractions. It is easily accessible via public transportation. You can even get there on foot from the city center.
On our tour bus, we learned a few things about the country from our guide as we drove to the destinations. The Vasa Museum in Stockholm, Sweden, is home to one of the most extraordinary maritime discoveries in history. The Vasa is the world's only preserved 17th century warship, and today we're taking you inside to explore its intricate details, its dramatic recovery from the depths, and what you can expect when visiting this must-see attraction in Stockholm.
And ever since, we have had almost 40 million visitors. One of the most visited museums of this kind in the world. Well, actually, this is the only ship of this kind in the world. Okay, it's a warship, not a pirate ship.
Inside, we enjoyed a short introduction by our tour guide.
Woodworms grow in salty water environment, but not in fresh water. Okay, but where did the Vasa sink? In the Bay of Stockholm, which has waters from the Baltic Sea, salty water. So was the possibility that the woodworms would attack the Vasa? Yes.
Then we were let loose on our own to explore for about 30 minutes.
One of the most breathtaking aspects of the Vasa is its elaborate carvings. Originally, the ship was painted in vibrant colors, featuring over 700 detailed sculptures, from fierce lions to Roman emperors. These carvings weren't just for decoration. They were meant to showcase the power and prestige of the Swedish monarchy. Though the paint has long faded, museum recreations give us a glimpse of how colorful and grand the Vasa once was.
The museum presents several models depicting what the Vasa looked like before it sank. These scale replicas show the full extent of the ship's design, its towering masts, intricately painted carvings, and the decks where sailors and soldiers once stood. Other exhibits take you below deck, where you can peek inside to see the cramped conditions and heavy cannons that made the ship dangerously top-heavy, ultimately sealing its fate just minutes after setting sail.
After spending 333 years at the bottom of Stockholm's harbor, the Vasa was raised in 1961, a feat that required precision and teamwork. The Neptune Salvage Company and Swedish Navy divers spent years preparing for the lift. Divers tunneled beneath the ship, threading massive steel cables through the mud before carefully lifting the Vasa using floating pontoons. What emerged was a remarkably preserved ship, thanks to the cold, brackish waters of the Baltic Sea, which had slowed its decay. Since then, the conservationists have worked tirelessly to protect the ship from deterioration, making it one of the best preserved artifacts of its kind in the world. Once the ship was lifted out of the sea, which was a miraculous feat within itself, there were thousands of artifacts that were preserved. Ironically, the heavy pollution of the Swedish Bay killed microorganisms that eat wood, which actually helped to preserve the ship. One of the fascinating exhibits at the Vasa Museum is the Osteology display. Archaeologists recovered the remains of at least 15 people from the wreck site. Forensic analysis has helped reconstruct their identities, shedding light on their lives and their final moments. The museum presents these findings through skeletal remains, facial reconstructions, and even personal items found near the bodies, offering a deeply human perspective on this tragic event. To understand the significance of the Vasa Museum, it is important to know about the ship's history. King Gustav II Adolf commissioned Vasa, the ship, during his military expansion efforts in Europe during the 17th century. The ship was built with great detail and was meant to be one of the most powerful warships at that time. Its armament included 50 cannons and much equipment capable of heavy firepower. Even during construction, problems with the ship's stability were identified. Nonetheless, the court demanded adherence to the tight schedule and the shipbuilding continued. However, due to the design flaws and an inexperienced crew, its maiden voyage on August 10th, 1628 was absolutely disastrous. The ship capsized and sank within minutes of setting sail, a sight witnessed by foreign ambassadors and royal officials.
A bit of an embarrassing moment, I suspect,
my gosh,
huh?
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
It remained at the bottom of the sea until it was finally salvaged in 1961 after being submerged for nearly 333 years. This museum was actually built around the ship. It was very cool.
People ask me often, how did they bring the ship here to this area? Well, see this canal here? They opened the whole canal here, and they brought the water in so they could drive the ship all the way in. And then they dry out the dock over there inside.
Right.
They left this so that we have an idea how it used to look like.
We went to the Vasa Museum, and what did you think of that?
That's amazing.
Amazing how preserved it is.
Yeah.
They said it's 98% original. So fascinating to see. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. It looked like a pirate ship to me. It's like
it looked like a battleship to me.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What was Captain Jack Sparrow? I could see him on that. No? No?
No.
No? Okay. All right. I use my imagination. If you're visiting the Vasa Museum as part of an excursion, be aware that your time inside may be limited. On our visit, we only had 30 minutes to explore on our own before we had to leave for our next stop. This meant we barely scratched the surface of what the museum has to offer. Reviews on TripAdvisor suggest that 2 hours is a more optimal time for exploring this museum. A self-guided visit allows you to take your time, watch the short film about Vasa's recovery, and fully explore the exhibits at your own pace. However, if you're short on time, an excursion can still give you a glimpse of this incredible piece of history.
The museum is open all year round and offers guided tours in multiple languages. It is a destination that should not be missed by anyone visiting Sweden's capital city. The Vasa Museum is one of Stockholm's most remarkable attractions, offering a unique look into Sweden's maritime history. Whether you visit on an excursion or on your own, seeing this 17th century masterpiece in person is an unforgettable experience. If you've been to the Vasa Museum, let us know in the comments. What was your favorite part? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more travel adventures.